All right, so everybody that's already in here, if you guys got questions during the session, just write in the chat and then we can cover them more towards the end of the session. For you guys that are new to the call, we're just going to run through all of our analysis for today, look for some potential trades. If there are trades, we'll give them out on the call. And I'm going to get started here with Euro AUD. Let me just let a few more people in here. I'm going to get started here with Euro AUD. I'm going to bump up time frames. And I'm just going to do a little breakdown here for you guys, just starting all the way up. I'm going to bump up all the way to the monthly time frame. So monthly time frame, we're just clearly very bearish. Actually started using this arrow. So we're clearly very bearish here, guys, forming this low, had this little pullback, then we're falling through the 200 right now. Let's come down to the weekly time frame. Once again, extremely bearish, clearly in a downtrend, formed this low, pulled back, lower high, pulled back, retested, and now we're at this point right here. Let's go down to the daily. So daily time frame, once again, extremely bearish. We had the break of this level, this support level, push down, pulled back, push down, and then we just respected this level, and then we have these wicks happening. This daily candle just drove down, and now we're on this pullback right here. So this is where I'm looking to actually enter based on this push down and then this pullback. Coming now down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour broke some support right here. So we had a little flip go on. So we broke support, retested, and then we had this bearish engulfing candle. So once I see that, that's obviously some good confirmation there. And then coming all the way down to the 30-minute time frame, 30 minutes started to reverse as well. So just starting over here, we were in a downtrend, lower low, lower high, push to this low, lower high, lower low, lower high, push down. Then we broke support here, broke this level, pushed up. This was this bearish engulfing on the 4-hour, break of this support, pulled back, and then the entry was on this. Entry was on this candle right here. Stops were originally at 480 about right here. And then as you can see, went into some profits. It's coming back a little bit. First target on this one is we're just trying to get to this previous low. So trying to get to 1-to-1 on this one. And then beyond that, the targets are going to be based on the 4-hour time frame, retesting this low all the way down here, which makes it obviously good risk reward trade. So this is Euro AUD. If you guys wanted to get in on this, I would, if you were to get in on it now, what I would do is I would put a short here and I would just throw your stops at about 40 pips above that high. And yeah, it's a good swing opportunity for today. So that's kind of one of my main pairs here because I've been just ripping through all these minor pairs. I'm going to get back on to the major pairs, and then I'm going to cover a few more of these, just kind of go through, look at market structure, and see what's up. We have a question here regarding, I have a question regarding possible employment with FXseed. When I sign up for a meeting via Zoom, do you guys expect a certain attire, professional? No, I mean, you don't have to dress professionally, man. It doesn't really matter. It's however you want to show up to the meeting. If you want to wear a suit that makes you feel great, then yeah, by all means go ahead. But there's certainly no dress code here. What's Grand Rising? What's up, Darren? All right, so this is the main trade kind of idea that I have right now, but there's a few other ones as well. I'm going to come back on to the majors. Let's go over to GU, take all these down. GU looks like a buy right now, so I'm going to hop up time frames. We're going to look at the monthly time frame. Clearly we're testing a key resistance at 140,500, this level, and already was respected with this long wick. But clearly this thing is bullish, broke resistance, retested, pushed up. Now we're pulling back a little bit, but very bullish at the moment on GU. Going down to the weekly time frame, again, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, pulled back. Didn't exactly retest support now, but we are finding some support at this 137 or 138,000 level. So let's bump down to the daily time frame. Clearly we're retesting a level here. We had this push up, pull back, push up, pull back. So this is a nice support and resistance level on the daily. And then what's interesting actually is that we pushed up, pushed down, and we actually broke some support here. And now we're retesting this like minor level. So I'm not too crazy on anything on GU right now. If anything, I'm going to wait. But after looking at this, I have two confirmations here. The monthly resistance, which we already respected, and then we broke support. This now turns into resistance. As I come down to the 4 hour, this is where things get a bit choppy, why I wouldn't short this right now. We had this push down, pulled back, and then we just broke support on or resistance on the 4 hour time frame. So this is not lining up. And if anything, we're looking to buy this thing, and it's probably going to push up into this level, back into these highs right here. If we come down to the 30-minute, we could see it's finding a little bit of a bottom right now. Just tested this like double bottom. So I would put stops here, and then I'd be targeting again up into this level. So not the best trade. That's why I'm just going to stay away from GU for now. Let's hop over to EU. Let's bump up to the monthly. Take this out. So this thing's pushing down a little bit. We got the monthly time frame. We clearly broke this resistance, pushed up. Now we're coming down, we're retesting. There's a lot of support sitting at this level right here. So we got to see what's about to happen here. Let me take this off. Coming down to the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, again, push down. We broke support here, push down into this level. But this is a main support level on the weekly. So I'm going to look to see how price reacts at around this level. Obviously, we're getting some rejection of this level right now. I'm going to look for one of two things here. As this thing starts to, we can see this thing's clearly very bearish, broke support here, push down, pulled back, push down. Now we're pulling back. We're starting to form this like wall of support at this level. I'm going to look for one of two things here. I'm not going to trade it at the moment. If price comes up back into this level, I'm going to go short. I'm going to bump up to the daily. We can see this is a daily support. That would be my nice resistance level to short at. On the flip side, when would I want to start taking buys on this? The price comes back to this level, makes some sort of double bottom here, then I'll start to try to take buys. If price comes up to that level, again, pushes down to this level, then I'll start to take buys. Or very simply, if price breaks that resistance and does something like that, if we bump back up to the daily, so if price breaks this resistance level, obviously, the trend is changing, it's very bullish. So then at that point, I would be trying to take buys. Let's see here. What's up, Connor? Gold, sir. Yeah, we're gonna cover gold in a little bit. We've got Nzd Usd. Let's bump up to the monthly here. So monthly time frame very clearly has been bullish. We broke the resistance here, pushed up, pulled back. Now we're rejecting this resistance level here. As you see, long ass wick. And now we're pulling back into this level, but there's clearly support here. There's clearly support at this level. As I come down to the weekly time frame, we are bullish, pushing up to this new high, pulling back, higher low formed right here. So I'm just going to adjust this level. higher low form there, pushed up, pulled back, obviously retesting and finding support at that level. Now coming down to the daily, we're a little bit early on that buy. You don't want to buy right now. We broke support here, pushed down. We do have a bullish engulfing at this area. So we could be more aggressive with this, but as I come down to the 4 hour, 4 hour is clearly, still pretty bullish. Push down, pushed up. This is our lower high, push down. We actually broke resistance, pushed up right here, and then we formed this higher low that actually broke, and then the following candle is a bullish engulfing. So if I were to do anything on NU at the moment, it would certainly be a buy. I would be buying right now. Boom. I'd have stops either close or below 40 pips right here. I would push up, see where's my first target. First target would be here. I would start to target this, all this over here, this resistance, and then that would make it, 1 to 6. And if we bump back up, ultimately we would want this thing to push back into this monthly level. So this would be a bit of an early trade. Our confirmations would be this support level on the weekly. This is that weekly high or low, that daily bullish engulfing. On the 4 hour time frame, we have this small little transition here. We had the resistance turn into support, bullish engulfing. And then down on this time frame, we've got the break of resistance right here, the retest. And now this thing is clearly finding support there, had this nice bullish variation. So yeah, this is definitely a good buy opportunity right now. I might even take this one myself. So I'm going to move this one up right there. We've got GU, we already did. So that's like the same. EU, we already did. That's like the same. And then I'm going to bump over to UCAD. This was a crazy one from earlier this week. I'm just going to push this over. So let's start on the monthly. Let's clear some of this up. Boom. So monthly time frame, guys, very clearly is bearish. We broke support, pushed down, found support, pulled back. Now we're in this like area that the weekly does not look too pretty. So let's come down to that's the monthly. Let's come down to the weekly now. Weekly time frame, very clearly bearish. We have this low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, pulled back, found some resistance at this level. So let's take a look on the daily. Daily time frame, once again, is very bearish. So we pushed up to this level, broke this support, pushed down, found support, little lower high, pushed down, little lower high, pushed down, pulled back. Now we're respecting this supply zone right here, and you can see all the wicks. So we're really consolidating within this area, which makes it difficult to take a trade. But let's go down to the 4 hour and see what's going on. Let me take some of this off right here. That was from earlier in the week. So the 4 hour time frame, I mean, take a look. We've got this bearish engulfing candle. We did break above the resistance before this. So I'm just going to bump back up to the daily really quickly just to see. So daily, clearly, we're still in this downtrend. So 1 hour or 4 hour time frame. This just concerns me that we broke above the resistance. Now we're kind of at support right here. So ideally down to like the 1 hour time frame, ideally we start to break below this level before we do anything. And then we're going to short this thing down there. This would look like stops would be about right here, 20 pips. Targets would be down here for about 3.3. So I'm going to move this one up because we could potentially see this one play out. Not USF, UCAD. Cool. Now let's go to USF here. And then let's start on the monthly. So monthly time frame on USF is very clearly, pretty bullish, pushing up. We're retesting this weekly resistance now. Look over here. This is some serious support turned into resistance. So we're retesting that level now. Move this back up. So now at this point, what am I looking for? We need to go down time frames. There's nothing clear on this time frame at all. So down to the weekly time frame, we broke this resistance, pushing up, so this thing's fairly bullish at the moment. We are testing this resistance, which is major, but it's not exactly the only, like, it's only one confirmation. So as I go down to the daily, I like to say, okay, when are we going to see some more confirmations? We got this bearish engulfing now yesterday. So that's our second confirmation. So now we have two in this area, which is good, but it's still a bit early. Down to the 4 hour. 4 hour is still bullish. We haven't broken exactly anything yet. This is very minor, but we're testing that. So we haven't broken anything yet. I had this mapped out early in the week, what I would need to see. Let's draw this out again. Ideally, we're going to need a break below this at a minimum, this level right here. So as I come down to the 1 hour, 1 hour time frame, did break support, broke this level, this like trend reversed. Now we're down here, but look, this broke the resistance. So for me to take an order on this, I would need to see a break below this level, a lower high, and then we would take this thing down all the way into this low right here. Stops would be, if it reversed right now, stops would be right around here, right around 35, and then we'd be targeting this, which would be 200 pips away. Let's just bump up, see, what is that level? That's that previous. We could even just look right here. Let me get this little arrow. Not that. So we can look right here. We had this high or low. So we're looking to push back down even earlier into this level right here, which would still be a great trade. So looking out on USEF, I'm going to bump this one up my list as well. And then for you guys that want to do, let's see, for you guys that want to do any other pairs, just drop in the chat. I'll cover any pairs that you guys do want to go over. I can let Nick hop on, and let's see, GBP AUD. I'll just do that one really quickly. But if you guys want a specific pair, just drop in the chat, GBP NZD. Let me take a look.
They were asking about gold too. I usually cover that at the end. We'll get to that
really
too.
Quickly. Yeah, no, you could cover gold. All right, so let's bump up GBP NZD. Yeah, let's bump up on this one. So monthly time frame on GBP NZD, we broke the support level on the monthly. Obviously, this is a pretty significant level here. That was where the closure was. So we broke that level. So we are in a downtrend on the monthly. Let's come down to the weekly. On the weekly time frame, this thing has been heading higher. So we broke this resistance, pushed up to this high, then we pushed down. Let me see. Then we pushed down, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now we're just pushing up, pushing up. This is an uptrend on every time frame below here. So let's bump down to the daily time frame. Daily time frame was in a downtrend, forming lows, lower highs, lows, lower highs. Then we broke, formed this higher high, higher low, higher high, retesting the lows, pushed up, again in an uptrend, had a bit of a break, broke this level, and then we just reversed. So we're back in an uptrend very clearly right now. So as you can see on the 4 hour, this was that push down where we broke, and then this thing couldn't find the resistance that it needed to continue to head lower. So now it's in an uptrend very clearly. So what would we do on this one, right now based on where we're at? On the 4 hour time frame, there's very clearly a support level right here that it's coming back to retest at the moment. If we come down to this time frame, we can see that we've got a nice flag going on right here, and ideally these flags are continuation patterns. In regards to how would we trade this right now, so 4 hour coming down into the support. As I come down to the 1 hour, 1 hour time frame is in this little bit of a downtrend. We did just break this support right here as well. So there's no entry on this at the moment. Obviously broke this. We would need to see at a minimum something like this little 30-minute break, retest, and then things scooted off this level. This would be a nice early entry because we're trying to swing this. So this would be a nice entry. You get 50 pips. You know, you're risking 60 pips. Ideally, we're trying to swing this, guys, into, remember, all the way up. It would be into this level. So we would get a nice 2-to-1 risk reward. But there's no trade at the moment on this one. Beautiful inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, I mean, I don't, potentially. I don't know if he's talking about like this or something, but looks a little screwy. I guess this would be the left, bottom, right. So maybe that's that's what he's referring to with the head and shoulders. So that actually is a decent. Let me pull that up. So we have this left head right here, right shoulder potentially down here, and then obviously the break to the upside. And then let's do oil. I've never done oil before. Let's do oil and then head and shoulders on the 4 hour as well. So let's bump up to the 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, there was a head and shoulders down here that it broke and then retested and flew up on. So yeah, GBP NZD looking for this thing to find support at this level and go long based on all the patterns I'm seeing. I'll do one more. What do we got? Euro NZD. I'm gonna move this one up. We've got, what's this guy doing? So this guy's coming back a little bit, see if it's going to retest this level. Nice retest and then drop to the downside. Let's bump over to Euro NZD. I believe I already had something mapped out for this earlier in the week, and it's starting to fall a bit. So let's take a look. Euro NZD, let's jump all the way up to the monthly time frame. So monthly time frame, guys, bearish, broke support. Now we're just pushing down. Had this long wick, but let's just look at the lower time frame here. Weekly, bearish, broke support right here, retested resistance, broke support, retested as resistance, broke support, retested as resistance. Now I'm looking for the push down on this wicks fill. So let's go down to the daily. And yeah, so I'm looking to take a short on this actually like right now. We've got this support level was broken, retested, all these wicks. We just had that push down in the daily time frame. That's a nice confirmation. Coming down to the 4 hour time frame, we broke support right here, retested, nice bearish engulfing, and then coming all the way down to the 30-minute, just the 1 hour, just had this nice 1 hour closure. So yeah, guys, I'm going to take a short opportunity on this one right now. This was a trade from earlier in the week. I'm going to readjust this. Now we're going to get in right around here, about 50 pips. Looking for this thing to continue to push down. 30-minute broke, so could come back to retest on the 30. But looking for the push down, and then the targets are going to be all the way down here, this previous low. So we've got nice targets. So yeah, this is Euro NZD. So that's the last pair that I'm going to cover for you guys. I'm going to pass it over to Nick, and he's going to get into some more trades for you guys, including gold.
Including gold, DXY, quick recap on DXY and some other pairs. But yeah, that Euro trade looks really good, Euro NZ.
Yes, sir.
Love to see that area consolidation, and then once it breaks, it could be out in for a serious drop. All right, so I'm not going to spend too much time on DXY, as Angelo covered it a little bit. Pretty much what you need to know is that it's overall bullish. You know,
I actually didn't even look at DXY, actually.
Oh, you didn't cover DXY? Yeah, normally you do, actually.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start off on the daily here, cover the overall sentiment, the trend, very much bearish, as you can see. Then we're going to drop to the 4 hour and see what DXY could potentially be doing for this week. So Higher time frame stuff, very bearish, as you can see. We are, however, getting a little bit of bullishness on the 4-hour, and we are breaking this monthly zone. So this could be the start of a daily transition. Again, we did just break this level. So it's looking very, very bullish at the moment, all the way back since February 26th to now. Very, very bullish, right? So let's see what the 4-hour says. See what we got going on. All right, so the way we're going to play this is we have this, again, bit of a bullish trend here and an overall very bearish chart right on the higher time frame. So the way this is going to go is we need to see some rejection above this support. So it could pull back to form structure 38.2 ideally. We could even hit this monthly and still be bullish if we see a reversal, right? So it could technically do this, pull back to here and reverse and continue upwards towards resistance at 92.5. But if it breaks back below this level, then we're playing back into that higher time frame bearish trend, right? We're breaking back below major support, and then if you look here on the daily, if price action falls back below this zone, this monthly, it's clearly very, very bearish still, right? And then we would actually just be looking for drop-offs as soon as we can confirm a lower high below the monthly as price action breaks. So that'd be really nice to see. But again, just how it reacts here at this monthly is going to determine a lot. Will it resume this bullish trend on the 4-hour and confirm it on the daily, or will it fall back below support and start giving us some lower highs and lower lows again? For now, we're going to stay with our bias, just short-term bullish, right, until we see some major change. So that's where we're at now, bullish on the dollar until we see otherwise. Okay, so I'm actually going to jump to gold right away and then come back for these other pairs, just because these kind of go hand in hand. So gold, more recently bearish. So the thing with gold is on the higher time frames, weekly, monthly, very much bullish. But then since we hit our high at 2070 on the daily, we've been very bearish. Let's go to the weekly for a second. So very bearish, more current price action, overall very bullish. Okay, as you can see, this is clearly an uptrend. We're here on the weekly time frame. Here on the daily now, very bearish. Lower lows, lower highs, key characteristic of a bearish trend. Okay, so the most important key level that we broke recently would be 1800 flat. Nice psychological level, was acting as key support for quite a while. We finally broke out of that and then had a huge drop off, right? We pushed much, much lower. So we got to drop to the 4-hour, see what's going on at this level, reanalyze, and see what we can come up with. Let me just draw this level over. I'll highlight this monthly a little bit more. Get rid of this border.
If you guys entered Euro NZD, it's up like 25 pips right now. So if you when it gets up around 30 pips, move your stops to break even.
Nzd. Yeah, this thing's out. Oh, it's looking good. Very, very good.
Moving.
Good volume. All right, so back to DXY. Okay, very much bearish as we know. We're going to go to the 4-hour and see what we could find, what the analysis is telling us. Is it going to pull back? Is it going to keep pushing lower? Let's go find out. All right, so here we are on the 4-hour. Price action dropped pretty much from 1800 down towards our next major level, our monthly support at 1675. So from there, we saw a bit of a reaction, which is good. Price action popped up. Nice, strong bullish variation. We crossed the MAs too. And now price action is pretty much sitting at 1710. So again, somebody in chat said, if gold drops, if DXY drops, will gold go up or vice versa? And typically the answer is yes. It's not going to move pip for pip. It's just too many factors for it. It's just not going to do that. It'll adopt the same direction, but you can't really say how far it's going to move. So always, weigh technical analysis. Be aware that DXY could be bearish. So, you're not going to be taking shorts on gold at key support. Just keep it in consideration that, DXY could be bearish, could be falling for a little while, even to form structure, and that could send, gold up a little bit into a deeper fib level. So for now, this is a nice transition. This is a lower time frame little setup that we got going on. You actually could take this entry if you wanted to be a little aggressive. Target up towards 1765. Again, that's your call. I typically really dislike counter trend trading gold. So I will personally be waiting for, this to shoot up, find its next level of resistance, and then reverse. So ideally, that could be this level here. Again, the 61.8. Let me just extend this a little bit. Actually, I'll bring it down to here. Just adjust some levels. Here we go. All right, so this is probably the biggest level of confluence, the 61.8, right where key resistance is. So at the absolute most, I'll be looking for a price action to pull back to here, like this. And then potentially reverse. All right, that's what we're looking at. So this is where if you are to take a long opportunity on gold, some lower time frame stuff, hold for a couple hours into 1765. And then, so is that a good 500 pips? And then look for a reversal and then target back down towards levels of support, like our monthly down here at 1675 rather. All right, so that's gold. Looking pretty clean, actually. The volume's nice. Yeah, this thing's popping up right now. Looking pretty good. So we're going to wait for this to play out. We'll see how gold's looking in a few hours. Let me jump over to AU. Daily time frame, guys, this has been very bullish for quite a while. Okay, very steady bullish trend, right? Breaking through resistance, testing a support, higher highs, higher lows, break of resistance here, higher low, new high, and so on. So very bullish on the daily. Let's go to the 4-hour. All right, so key level you guys need to be aware of is this monthly 0.76. Okay, that's kind of the main support for this bit of price action all the way back since January to now. This level of support just been supporting the structure. Okay, so recently we had our new high formed around 0.8, right? Nice psychological area. Price action pulled back pretty hard from there, started giving us some lower highs, and is still technically, giving us some lower highs. We did shoot down pretty damn close to our weekly. It reversed. We got an MA cross, and now we're getting a higher low on a lower time frame. But this is still at key resistance. So what I have marked for you here is what needs to happen for us to get into a long position comfortably. Good risk reward. We need to see this, right? A couple more confirmations. I would really love to see this pop kind of back into this upper range here. Maybe even test this resistance at 0.78 and pull back. And then at that point, if it did this, if it followed this path, can anyone tell me what pattern this would then look like? I'm just gonna this pattern in here. This should be more or less.
And use
you said it inverse head. If you say inverse head and shoulders, guys, that would be correct. And then you would be looking for entries all in here on the right shoulder, break of the neckline, proper conviction, and so on. So that's the idea for AU. Looking to get in on some higher low above this current level. So that's that. If this falls back down and starts to consolidate, we'll have to wait then and maybe consider a break lower, but look for that lower high to confirm before entry. Okay, so as long as it remains within this range between basically 0.768 and 0.76, we'll just have to wait for some sort of breakout. Because again, if you look back here, guys, it's pretty much the same thing. This area of consolidation. No real entries in here.
I would say there's a nice buy right now on AU. It's given a lot of confirmation.
It's close. I'll show you in a second why I'm just holding off on it.
It's a head and shoulders.
But essentially, it's like this. Yeah, exactly.
On the 1 hour.
Oh, you mean this little one here? This little one?
Yeah, I'm looking about. This thing showing some volume right now.
Definitely bullish. I just want to see it push a little higher because this area has rejected a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If you could see, minor level here, 200's coming up. So I'm just a couple confirmations away, and then we're in. But yeah, it's definitely looking bullish, guys. It's deep enough. It's a good level, And yeah, it did just give us a little higher low with it engulfing. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out in the next couple hours. Okay. Move on to AJ. Same thing with AJ, guys. Overall bullish on the daily. Currently at a weekly level, but we are pushing above it. So very much bullish. Let's go to the 4-hour. Zoom in here. All right. So we have been consolidating a little bit. This is actually a live trade too. There's been a few entries on this one. But for right now, we are essentially waiting to continue with the overall bullish trend, right? We recently formed a high, pulled back, gave us a higher low. Now we're consolidating. It's a little bit of a flag pattern, so this is good to see. Typically a continuation. We just want to see this momentum kind of pick up again. So what we're seeing now is we did just transition out of this pattern. Here, this blue zone here was the level that was broken. Now we're testing, confirming some sort of higher low. And then now we just want to see these bullish convictions. Good bullish setups, good conviction. We want to see this kind of rally into our prior high and potentially higher. So let's go to the 1-hour. I just want to show you guys what this trade looks like and go over these targets. So the target is the prior high, 85 flat, nice psychological level. Makes sense. It's not an overreaching target. It's not, based on some bullshit level. It's actually, there's reason to this. Just a prior high. Okay, and stop loss is below this level of support, right? So well protected. Looking like just over 4-1. And now we just gotta see how this plays out. All right. But from now, there's a few things you could do if you wanna, let's say you want to enter now. You missed the trade. You want to enter. What do you need to see to happen for you to then pull the trigger? Actually, you need to go to the. All right. So from here, essentially, you just want to see this consolidate a little more. Let's say this isn't the conviction that's happening right now. This isn't about to rally. So ideally, just wait for pullback, enter on a nice bullish setup. Ideally, crossing MAs and so on, lower time frame. Look to enter on a 30-minute or less. Okay, so that could be your potential entry if you get a pullback. But if this does go bearish, look for a simply below 83.25, target lower down towards 82.25. So that's essentially what we'll be looking for if this does reverse on us. All right, so that's AJ. Let's move on to EJ, or UJ and then EJ. Daily time frame on UJ, super bullish as of lately. I mean, this volume is just kind of nuts. Look at it, just literally straight up, shooting to the high of this descending channel. Okay, so it's a bit of a descending pattern rather. Lower highs, lower lows. Key support was at 104.5. We broke and then pulled back through. So now we are resuming this giant descending triangle. So actually, I am going to highlight 104.5 again because now it becomes once again significant support. Get rid of this. Okay. All right. So clearly bearish, more bullish on the lower time frames. Let's go to the daily. Right, bullish. Prior high and key resistance is at pretty much 109.5, right near this negative 27 fib level. So let's go to the 4-hour, see what type of trade scenarios we could spot. Okay, super, super bullish. Honestly, I'm not going to recommend to any of you buying this right now, as it is just way, way overextended. Ideally, we want to wait for structure. Definitely want to wait for structure. There is a minor level right here. So this thing could not even be done rallying yet. We have to see. We're just assuming right now that this is the high, right? Let's say it transitions through this minor level, starts pulling back seriously. Look for reversals at the 38.2 or 107 flat level, and then look to target higher again towards prior highs. If you see the right confirmations, moving average crosses, higher low, etc. So that's what we're looking at on UJ right now. But damn, this thing is overextended as hell. Really?
Yeah, it is.
Just from where it is to form structure, or well, actually to 38.2. It's like almost, it's like 90 pips just there, back to 107, 150 from the current. So huge amount of volume, guys. We got to just wait on this one. Even if this starts shooting up now, there's no structure, so I wouldn't feel comfortable entering or recommending an entry on it. So I'm just gonna wait. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. But this lines up with DXY pretty clearly. It's forming a very similar, kind of setup here. Very similar. So yeah, we'll just see. We will see. Let's move on to EJ. This will be the last pair I have for you guys. Daily time frame overall very bullish. Very bullish, guys. But if we zoom in a little bit more recently, clearly we have a very defined bullish channel, which is good. Nice healthy trend. But at the current high, we're seeing tons of exhaustion. I mean, like, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. 8 days of exhaustion or indecision. And most of these candles these wicks are pretty long. That one's 80 being the largest. Some of these are like probably like 30, 40. Yeah, so on. So very large wicks. Essentially, it's indecision. Essentially, the market doesn't know where it's going. All that we can work by is what we know, essentially. So daily time frame bullish. Let's go to the 4-hour now. See what we could spot or, draw up in terms of analysis. So very bullish. Okay, here is all that indecision. No surprise, guys. It's just a range. Tons of consolidation in here. And for those of you who have been to, a previous webinar, you know how we handle ranges. Ideally, we want to play the conservative route. So we're waiting for a breakout. That means a higher low or lower high below. Clearly, we'll be favoring the overall bullish bias because, I mean, guys, it's been a very strong bullish trend for a while. The more this develops, the more I'll be leaning toward a bullish outlook. But one thing about EJ, guys, is it loves to consolidate. It loves to consolidate. I mean, we just covered a period right here between December and January. Well, actually, I'll consider back here about January, where we went about 40 days of consolidation. So, EJ loves it. It really does, and it's annoying sometimes. He's gonna wait and be super patient with this one. But when it runs, it runs. So we'll be waiting for this break. Ideally, higher low above 129.45. Boom, we're in, targeting the negative 27. And that'll make for a pretty good trade. 150 15 pips plus. And yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on how this develops. But for now, we got to wait for this range to break. All right. And that's pretty much everything I covered. I got for you guys this session. So that's DXY, AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, Gold. Okay, and Angela went over quite a few as well, and even some extras. So
yeah, so we're gonna cover. If you guys
yeah.
got any questions, just post in the chat. We'll stay on for a little bit. If you want us to do any extra analysis, any extra pairs that we didn't cover, if you guys have any questions here, yeah, we did do the euro dollar right before that spike, so the thing started spiking up a bit. And yeah, so we did cover the dollar, we did cover euro dollar, we covered basically all the major pairs. If you guys want to take a look one more time at anything, this is recorded, so I'll post it on YouTube. You guys will be able to watch it on there. But yeah, any other questions, feel free before we kind of close this session. And then I'm also gonna do I'll go ahead and share my screen real quick. Just as a reminder to you guys, we were doing a giveaway earlier this week inside of the Telegram chat. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. If you want to still get in on it, I'm going to announce the winner in a little bit. So let me go ahead and just find this post. So it's right here, this $100 giveaway. I'll reply it again. Enter the giveaway. It's for $100. All you got to do is comment on this post on Instagram, follow the FX Seed page, and follow the FX Seed page on Telegram. I know someone asked a question earlier about FX Seed. If you guys have any questions related to that, feel free to go ahead. Join for fundamentals. Yeah, there will be Every single day, guys, in the Telegram, there will be fundamentals posted along with a daily watch list. I believe, let's see. Earlier, we had this entire, on Mondays, we post the entire economic calendar. And then let me find another example here. We have someone that trades specifically with fundamentals. I believe you put out earlier this week a sell on UJ. If you guys are in that, that's more of a long-term type of trade. I don't know where this is at, but yeah, if you join for the fundamentals and you have questions, there's someone named Forex League News. When he posts in here, if you go back to this post, I believe it shows. If not, just send me a message and I'll connect you guys. If you join the signals, there is fundamental like lessons included. The person that we have working with us that's solely dedicated to fundamentals, he posted or he created like 10 lessons for you guys to go over. So if you want to get in on that, it's included in the signals course. Do you think the dollar is going to get weak? It's a good question. It's a good
I mean,
question
it's
here.
definitely, it doesn't necessarily look weak yet. It's not really breaking anything, but it is due for a pullback.
Yeah, I mean, it is very bullish here. It's coming back. This is some major resistance that it hit. So the weekly trend certainly is bearish, but we are getting a lot of bullish momentum kicking in. Looking at the daily, looking at the 4-hour, it's gotta break below here for us to really be like bearish all the way. This support level that's forming right here, this higher low, that's what it's got to break right now. That's what it's retesting. Until then, guys, this thing is in an uptrend. I'd like to see DXY back around 91.60. Yeah, if it makes it down to 91.60, I could totally see it hitting this level. Coming back to this level right here. And then that thing will definitely be, broken on the 4-hour, broken structure. Daily time frame will be starting to transition a bit more. Already has that bearish engulf in there. Weekly time frame, So if this is pushing down, we went over earlier, like NU popping up, USEF popping or pushing down, UCAD pushing down. So that would kind of validate those ideas, because the dollar getting weaker would mean that this thing would start to push a bit higher. As we can see, already got a little bit of a pop, so that's obviously some good volume kicking in right there, about 25 pips. Already pushed up 25 pips, so yeah, we'll see. And then this, yeah, AU reverse head and shoulders. Ideally, we break this level, and then we can look for the potential entry on that, and then even up to the weekly. We could see we're retesting that nice weekly support level right there, daily time frame. And this is why Nick's saying it's a little early. We did break support here, push down. So now we're technically retesting the resistance down to the 4-hour. We broke this minor level, push. So the reality is we're trying to see like this.
Yeah.
We're trying to
And
see
if
it.
that plays out, it could run.
Yeah, this is a little early. We're trying to see it confirm this break, and then on the retest, like this nice little pullback, morning star. If it does that, pushes up, pulls back, then this thing will be very clearly a nice long opportunity. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's it for the live session. We're gonna have our next session on Sunday for next week's analysis. If you guys are interested in any of the products, you can just come on the website, and all the links here are updated. So you could check out each of the programs. If you are interested in the lifetime membership, just schedule a call with me so that we can talk. So to see if it actually makes sense for you guys to join. Obviously, as always, there is free stuff inside of the Telegram. This is where everything's posted. Come up to the pinned message at the top, and you'll get more information on everything in here. Walker Avenant, if you're interested, this is what you'll do if you're interested. Come to this Forex League Telegram or lifetime membership bot. and then just schedule a call right here. That way we can just talk and see, if it makes sense for you to join. Yeah, Darren, no problem, man. Thanks for coming on. And Chris, Connor, everyone, thank you guys for sitting on here, listening to me and Nick talk for an hour straight. I'll get this posted on YouTube in a bit, and we'll see you guys on the next session.
Oh yeah, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you guys then.
Yeah. Christian, just hit me up in the Telegram, and we can have a private conversation. What's the size limit for the trade copier? There's no size limit. The minimum is 1,000, and if you want information on that, it's the same thing. Just come in here, go to trade copier. And if you've already been in it, you just press start, and then you can go ahead, you talk to me here. You could schedule a call inside of here, inside of the course. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys have a good day. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Peace, guys.